Hi, my name is Lisa Flanagan, and I'm a children's librarian in the mountains of North Carolina. For 3 years, I was the project manager of an IMLS LSTA grant-funded project that we called Alphabet Ready. And you can see behind us, we created kits for each letter of the alphabet, and then we would use these kits to go into schools, kindergarten classes, pre-K classes, daycare centers, as well as present these alphabet-focused story times here at the library. And one of the reasons that we felt so strongly about creating fun story times around each letter of the alphabet is because of some research like this. Letter knowledge has been shown to be as strong a predictor on its own as other predictors combined. In fact, reading scores in the 10th grade can be predicted with surprising accuracy based on a child's knowledge of the alphabet in kindergarten. And that research comes from the Department of Health and Human Services. So we just felt like we could use our time effectively to create story times that would strengthen that skill. So today I'm going to tell you how we would get started with a letter N story time. And the very first thing we would do is put a card up so that the children would know, and this is especially important for children who have not discussed or seen or interacted with literacy ideas, but even more so for children whose first language is not English. So we talk about the shape of the capital letter N and the lowercase letter n, but they're both the letter N, and the sound that that letter makes. So after we'd explained the sound N to them and had them practice that, we tell them letters are a lot like animals, and you could have them practice some animal sounds first and then practice the sound that goes along with the letter. Then we're going to tell them we're going to build a puzzle together. Now, I'm going to build a puzzle that we made with clip art, but I just wanted you to know ahead of time that you don't have to create these on your own. The internet is filled with resources now, and this particular resource comes from my teaching station. They have these in black and white and color, and obviously one for each letter of the alphabet, uppercase. And then if you look on my Teachers Pay Teachers, I believe there's a resource by Lavinia Pop, and she does the lowercase letter puzzles. But before we knew those resources existed, or perhaps before those resources existed at all, we created our own puzzle pieces with clip art. So you could do that as well. And so then we give clues for the children so that it's a game and they enjoy playing this game. So I would say, think of something. Remember, every word that we're thinking of is going to have to start with the sound that letter N makes. So this is something you might wear around your neck, which neck starts with letter N, but this is a piece of jewelry, and hopefully they would guess necklace. So we put that on our flannel board, and then create other hints for them for the puzzle pieces. And whenever we could, we would try to create a hint that would also allow them to think about phonemic awareness ideas. So this next clue, we might say something like, think about the word purse. If the word purse started with the sound of N, what would that word be? And then you could give them more clues about this is somebody who might help you in a hospital who wasn't the doctor. And hopefully they would come up with the word nurse. And if you're working with really young children, sometimes you don't even give them clues. You just show them the pictures, and that's fine. So, this can stretch the gamut of age ranges. My next clue is this is something that squirrels like to eat, and it rhymes with huts. And hopefully they would come up with the idea nuts, and continue building your puzzle like that. The next word is, if you think of the word best, and replace the first letter with the sound of letter N, and think about the kind of a home that a bird would build for its to lay its eggs in. And hopefully they would come up with nest, and just continue in that manner, creating a puzzle. I'm trying to think where, oh yeah. Sometimes they have to help me figure out where the pieces go. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to go ahead and put these pieces up I feel like you get the idea. The next thing we would do is, and I'll tell you, so many times the children are just amazed that we actually made a capital letter N with our puzzle. And even when we've been doing this for 20 story times, they are still, oh, look, we made the letter S or the letter T or whatever the puzzle is for that letter that day. And sorry, this one's a little crooked, but after we create the puzzle, we sing a song because music really helps connect some synapses in the brain that nothing else is quite the same as that. So we start off by singing, we are learning letter N, and you just clap with the children and sing, we are learning letter N, letter N, letter N, we are learning letter N, 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 n. And you could point to your mouth to remind them. Now we're going to say the sound of letter N. Also, if you were using a Letterland curriculum, you could do the a Letterland action to go along with that. And then we're just going to go through the puzzle, and you could just pick some pictures, but most children seem to really enjoy doing an action for every piece of the puzzle. And the action is just one more component to help connect synapses in the brain. So for necklace, you could ask the children, what action could we do for necklace? They love, if you've got the time, they love coming up with some ideas for that. So you might even just circle your neck and say, necklace starts with letter N, letter N, letter N, necklace starts with letter N, 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 n. Then nurse. What should we do for nurse? Is the nurse going to feel your head because you have a hot fever? Is the nurse going to give you a shot? They can choose the action that gives them more ownership of the time that you're having together, and then you just sing the next verse for that puzzle piece. So I hope that using puzzles to start your story times will be a asset to you and the work that you do, either in a library or in a school or at home with your children there. So I will link to everything I've mentioned in the video in the notes below this video, and come check us out on YouTube. We have many more videos to share with you. Thank you.